deteriorating situation on human rights in the Indian-occupied Kashmir. On the 30th of October, another report surfaces, and that's the all-parliamentary party group on Kashmir in the House of Commons comes out with its report. They reiterate and endorse what has been said in the UN report. They re-emphasize what Pakistan has been saying all along. And not just that. 2019, members of parliament belonging to the Conservative Party, the Labour Party, Liberal Democrats, members of the House of Lords, they all agreed to hold an international conference on Kashmir where House of Commons, the mother of Parliament. And Pakistan is represented not just by the Foreign Minister, every political party, despite the polarization that you see in Pakistan, despite the divisions that you see in Pakistan, in my delegation, every political party, whether it's People's Party, PMLN, MMA, MQM, you name it, they were there. And I was a keynote speaker. When I finished and sat, I was delighted to hear each and every members of the Foreign Relations Committee of the Senate stood up and said, whatever the Foreign Minister of Pakistan has said is my point of view. So, the message was loud and clear that there's absolute unanimity on the issue of Kashmir, despite the acute political polarization we see in Pakistan, and that's a very sound and a very good message across the LOC to friends, brothers and sisters who are carrying out a heroic struggle despite the Indian occupation, the atrocities and the brutality that they're facing on a daily basis. Ladies and gentlemen, on the 14th of February, as I land in Munich for the security conference, the first news I get is Pulwama. And oh my God, because I know the next day I'm going to be there in the eye of the storm, international media hovering around and obviously asking questions. Linking, Pulwama to Mumbai. And I recalled, oh my God, I was Foreign Minister when Mumbai happened. And I was in Delhi. And I know what a hostile media I had to face when that very day, when Taj was burning, I was in the Delhi Press Club fighting for Pakistan and defending Pakistan's case. I proudly did that. And I was recalling, okay, is it a repeat performance that is required? Nonetheless, it gave me an opportunity to engage with the leadership over there, to present Pakistan's point of view. The German foreign minister was there, and the most important thing, one of the most important countries that has a lot of say, whether it's the United Nations or the Security Council. I had the opportunity of meeting on the 15th, the very next day, a group of US congressmen, and there were 20 of them. 9 members of the Senate and 11 members of the House. It was an opportunity to articulate Pakistan's point of view. And I did my best to tell them that these allegations are unacceptable and we reject them. Ladies and gentlemen, you know, the Prime Minister on the 21st of February made a policy statement. We condemned the incident. We condole with the families that had lost their lives because there's a human factor and we cannot and should not ignore the human factor. And yet, there was no hysteria. Our response was mature, in my view, measured, and full of restraint. And there was a reach out. The Prime Minister very clearly said, we are willing to cooperate. If you have actionable evidence, please share it with Pakistan, and I assure you, we will investigate with sincerity. There's a new government here, and not just a new government, there's a new mindset here. This is the government that reflects the thinking of a Naya Pakistan. And in that concept of new Pakistan, we are very clear that Pakistan's soil will not be used for any terrorist activity against anyone, and that includes India. We are very clear on that. We are clear on the fact that there is a political consensus in the country on the National Action Plan, the 20-point National Action Plan. We were in the opposition. We owned it then, and we own it today. There's a political consensus. There was a military component to it, and there was a political component to it. The Pakistan Armed Forces did their job, and they did their job well in clearing the tribal areas that border Afghanistan, and alhamdulillah, today it is internationally recognized that the Pakistan Army has succeeded in defeating terrorism. And inshallah, we have the resolve on the political side to take steps to reverse extremism. Why do we want to do that? We're a government, a new government, which has a very clear agenda. What is our agenda? It is a people-centric agenda. Why did people elect us when they had better options? Known political parties, deep roots, deep pockets, because they felt they had been tried and they had disappointed them. The leadership was stained and the performance was known to everyone. When we take over the economy, the fiscal deficit is 6.6% of GDP, and Dr. Saab is sitting here. Dr. Ishfaq Saab, he knows much more than I do on the economic situation. The trade deficit was highest ever, and the indebtedness is known to you all. Despite that, we are very clear that the people of Pakistan have reposed their confidence in us, and we want to live up to their trust. We have to fix the economy. We have to fix dilapidated, deteriorating institutions, civilian institutions, who have over the years been tempered with and politicized to such an extent that their ability to deliver has been compromised. And if we want to overcome this challenge, we need peace. We need peace in the region. We need peace on the western side, and we need peace on the eastern side. On the western side, Prime Minister Imran Khan for years has been advocating that there is no military solution to Afghanistan. The only way forward is a negotiated political settlement. He was being accused of being too soft on certain elements. People even called him names, Taliban Khan. But today, Alhamdulillah, there's a new thinking, and the world has converged to our point of view. Today, as I speak to you, here in Islamabad, in the Shamadan Hall, in Doha, the leaders of a global power, the representatives of a global power, and representatives of Taliban are sitting on the negotiating table trying to find a way forward. And that's a great achievement. It never was easy. It never will be easy. Because we know there will be spoilers. And we know who the spoilers could be. When I look east, I can detect a spoiler. A very obvious spoiler. What does Pakistan gain from Pulwama? Nothing. In fact, it distracts us. It distracts us from what we want to do on the western side. A frenzy has been created. There's warmongering. You heard the leadership of BJP, for obvious political gain and for electoral reasons, they're whipping up the sentiment. Pakistan will be taught a lesson. बदला बदला की आवाजें गूंज रही हैं हिंदुस्तान में. Pakistan has made no irresponsible statement. There's no saber rattling on our side. We have been composed, and our response has been dignified. We've said we're willing to engage. We've said we're ready for a dialogue. And if you, the Indians, feel that dialogue and terrorism cannot go side by side, okay, let's sit and talk about terrorism. Who would understand terrorism more than we do, who suffered 70,000 casualties? Our economy has been hit to the extent of over $128 billion. You're giving us a lecture on terrorism? The people of Pakistan have suffered. Innocent citizens have suffered. The armed forces have paid the ultimate price. Police officers, Jawans have paid the ultimate price. The officers of the Pakistan Army have paid the ultimate price. So don't talk about terrorism to us. We know when it hurts and how it hurts. So ladies and gentlemen, Pakistan's response has been that India, your policy in Kashmir has failed. Excessive use of force, there's a reaction to it. And Pulwama could be one demonstration of that reaction. The suicide bomber was a Kashmiri from the Indian side. The explosives were locally purchased. The car was Indian. Why are you pointing fingers at Pakistan? Do your soul searching. See what's gone wrong. See why today Mehbooba Mufti is saying you can arrest a person, but you cannot arrest an idea. Today, Mir Wais Umar Farooq is saying coercion can be exercised, but it will not change ground realities. Today, within days, the main opposition party, and I'm not going to name any, today they are questioning the logic and the arguments put forward by the BJP government. They're questioning the intention behind Pulwama. What is Pakistan doing? I've written to the Secretary General of the United Nations to intervene, to de-escalate and diffuse tensions in the region. Because we feel the road India is following can destabilize and compromise peace and security of the region. I've written to the President of the Security Council asking him to play a role, to de-escalate. I have been the last few days post-Pulwama working the phone, talking to foreign ministers and world leaders, articulating Pakistan's point of view. And ladies and gentlemen, I think it is beginning to register. It is beginning to register what Pakistan is saying. And inshallah it will. I'm confident it will. Today, people are seeing on their television screens what's happening in the Indian-occupied Kashmir. An incident takes place in Pulwama, which is about 20 kilometers from Srinagar, and Kashmiri students are being attacked in New Delhi. Does it make sense? An incident takes place in Pulwama, and an advocate, a journalist, 24 years old, is being attacked and beaten in Pune. Does it make sense? Cars, vehicles are being burned, properties being attacked, Kashmiri products being thrown out of bazaars. Complete hartal. Is Pakistan that influential that we can manage hartals? We can organize a shutdown of the entire valley? Are we that powerful? And if we are, then think twice. We want peace. We want peace. But at the same time, do not misread us. If there is a misadventure, the Prime Minister has clearly said and the government is clearly saying, and as Foreign Minister of Pakistan I'm saying, we will retaliate and we will retaliate immediately. No compromise. There will be no compromise. We have a right to self-defense. We have a right to face, beat aggression. So, this war frenzy has to be curtailed. And Kashmiris have to be engaged. There are three parties. You have refused to talk to Pakistan. You shied away from dialogue. On the 26th of July, even before being sworn in as Prime Minister, Imran Khan, his first national address says, Prime Minister Modi, you take one step towards peace, we will take two. He writes to the Indian Prime Minister that I would like my foreign minister and your foreign minister to meet on the sidelines of New York so that they can sit and work a way forward. The Indians agree to a meeting. A date is fixed, time is fixed. At the 11th hour, who buckles? Not Pakistan, India. And Sushma ji declines from that meeting. No issue. My response was, we are ready whenever you are. Despite that, we open Kartarpur, a corridor of friendship, of understanding, and go to any country, United States, Canada, Australia, UK, and carry out an open poll. What are the Sikhs as a community thinking of this gesture? They have welcomed it. We have liberalized the visa regime. We are no longer insecure. We said, let people come. Let people come and visit Pakistan. The bogey that they've created, the bogey that has been painted is, retrogressive. You know, as if you're living in dark ages. Come and see. Come and see for yourself. Come and meet the people of Pakistan. See how hospitable they are. See how warm they are. Come and meet the women of Pakistan and see how progressive they are. Because we have a very clear vision of Pakistan. And our vision, ladies and gentlemen, the vision of PTI is the vision of Muhammad Ali Jinnah, Qaid-e-Azam, Muhammad Ali Jinnah. That's the Pakistan we want. We are not trying to develop a fundamentalist state or an orthodoxy here. We will have, inshallah, a progressive democracy, a welfare state. That's what we believe in. So, to our friends in Kashmir, the message is, we were with you, we are with you. Our support, our diplomatic support, our political support, and our moral support will remain with you. We will not push this issue to the back burner. And there were governments, ladies and gentlemen, in which the K word was forbidden. Isko mamnu jana jata tha. Alhamdulillah, I'm proud of the fact that at the General Assembly, when I stood up to speak for Pakistan, first I spoke in my language, Urdu, because I wanted to convey a point. And I wanted to send a message to the people of Pakistan कि ये एक मुंतखब हुकूमत का एक मुंतखब वजीर खारजा है, मुसल्लत हुआ नहीं है, अवाम का मुंतखब हुआ वजीर खारजा है. And in that speech, if you go through it carefully, the atrocities, the human rights violations, I don't have to elaborate. You can read it yourself. On the 19th of February, what happens in Brussels? A public hearing. A public hearing is organized. Do we control the European Parliament? We don't. And what does that Parliament say? The message is, India, stop atrocities in the Indian occupied Kashmir. मैं नहीं कह रहा, ब्रसल्स कह रहा है. So, और ये मैं उर्दू में कहूंगा कश्मीरियों से, पाकिस्तान का बच्चा बच्चा, पाकिस्तान का हर फर्द, पाकिस्तान का हर मर्द, पाकिस्तान की हर मस्तूर आपके साथ है. इंशाअल्लाह हम असूल पर खड़े हैं और असूलों का सौदा नहीं करेंगे. हम लगड़ा नहीं चाहते, हम झगड़ा नहीं चाहते, हम जंग नहीं चाहते. हम अमन के ख्वाह हैं और अमन के दाई हैं, लेकिन अपने मफादात का और कश्मीरियों के खून का सौदा नहीं करेंगे इंशाअल्लाह. So, let me conclude by thanking the organizers for this event, and let me thank you, sir, for being at the House of Commons and saying what you said. I heard you loud and clear. Thank you for being here. Thank you for inaugurating the exhibition organized by Malik. And thank you for offering your services for finding a solution, a peaceful solution. There is no other solution. Let the Indians know, two neighbors, two atomic neighbors, have no other option but to sit together and find a solution. And solution, inshallah, we will find with the support and the du'as of the people of Pakistan. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Minister, for those words. I will now